Welcome to UVU. It's homecoming here in Orem, Utah. Tonight, Pepperdine is in the house from the West Coast Conference. Fireworks are in the air tonight. You don't want to miss it. Coming up next here on UVU TV. Welcome to the UCCU Center in Orem, Utah, where tonight the Wolverines, 3-5 on the season, playing just their second home game of this season as they take on Pepperdine. Hello again, everybody. I'm Jim McCall along with Matt Peterson. Kind of unusual to be playing your 9th game of the year, but only second game at home.
Yeah, walking out, seeing that home court must be a big relief and a good feeling for the Wolverines because they've had a tough stretch on the road. Coming home is going to energize them. It's going to give them a lot of motivation to play well, and I look for a lot of energy in tonight's game.
I hope so. Good news, the Wolverines are undefeated at home. They won their only home game. All right, let's talk about this one against Pepperdine. Some key players that I know you want to keep an eye on tonight, Matt, especially for the Wolverines.
Yeah, looking at the Wolverines, we're going to look at guard play tonight. We've got number 11, Jason Johnson, who is a junior guard. He's shooting about 45% from the three-point line. He's going to have a positive impact on tonight's game. And stalwart Dick Hunsaker, point guard, leader of the team, a junior guard, averaging 3 assists per game. I think Holton's going to have a good game getting teammates involved, but also taking the lead offensively if the Wolverines are going to have success tonight.
Dick Hunsaker, by the way, 5 stitches in the chin, or excuse me, 5 in the eye, 7 in the chin. He's had a rough preseason so far. All right, key players for Pepperdine.
Now, looking at Pepperdine, we've got Lauren Jackson, who is a senior guard. He's averaging 17 points per game, 9 points shy of 1,000 for his career. So he's going to be excited to get that in tonight's game. And a forward sophomore, Stacy Davis, averaging 7.3 rebounds per game. So you've got a guard player, you've got a power forward player. So let's look at what impact those players have and what type of defensive scheme the Wolverines have put together to try and stop and guard those two.
Yeah, defense has been a problem so far for the Wolverines. They're just allowing lots of runs, 16, 17 points unanswered. So keys to the game for you for both of these teams tonight, Matt.
Yeah, we love to see how these play out, and throughout the game they do play a factor. For the Wolverines, they got to come out fast. They cannot have an early letdown. They've got to play strong defense for the entire 40 minutes of the game, and they have to take care of the basketball. Whenever they turn it over, they get in trouble. For Pepperdine, they've got to manage fatigue. This is their second game of they played 2 nights ago, so they've got to be able to manage their fatigue, maintain their defensive intensity for the entire game, and limit costly turnovers at critical points in the game.
Turnovers are starting to be a little theme here.
Yeah, definitely.
We're going to be back. More Costa Vida pregame show, starting lineups, opening tip, coming your way next here on UVU TV.
Costa Vida was born on the beach, so the coast inspires how we prepare everything, from our crisp salads to our irresistible burritos. And with more fresh sauces and salsas to choose from, meals at Costa Vida are truly a custom experience. Costa Vida, the coast is calling.
Pepperdine and Utah Valley getting set to go at it. Around one team that wants to keep things going.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough test for both teams and really kind of a battle of will of both teams as well.
Starting lineups for Pepperdine: Lauren Jackson, Jordan Baker, Stacy Davis, Caleb Willis, and Jet Rains are the 5 starters for the Wave of Pepperdine. 4-2 on the season, averaging 67 points a game, giving up 66 points a game. Lauren Jackson is their big star. He's their leading scorer anyway, 17 points. I call him a star.
Yeah, and I think he's going to have to be a major focus of the Wolverines throughout the entire game. As I mentioned in the pregame, you can tell that he could score. He's 9 points away from 1,000 for his career, so he's going to be very excited in tonight's game, and his season so far has been a great success.
Lauren Jackson wearing number 0, the last one introduced for the Pepperdine Wave tonight. Pepperdine coached by Marty Wilson in his second year at Pepperdine. Last year they were 10-19. So started for Pepperdine 2 seniors, 1 sophomore, and 1 freshman. They're kind of young, but they're getting things going. They lost their first 2 games of the season by 6 and by 17. They had a couple players hurt. Those players came back. Then all of a sudden, a 2-point win in overtime against Washington State, a team that just totally annihilated the Wolverines earlier this season. Started Pepperdine on a 4-game win streak, and that's how they're coming in here. Meanwhile, Utah Valley, well, we talked about it before the break. Out of their 8 games thus far, 7 of them on the road. They are 1-0 at home, though. And boy, are they glad to be back here at the UCCU Center. They do a heck of a job with their player introductions. You see the Green Man group out on the drums, the Spirit Squad, the cheerleaders. Everybody's involved in getting the crowd riled up. The home crowd sitting underneath the cameras as you look at it. Most of the crowd is underneath the cameras as opposed to on the far sidelines where we are. Wolverines coached by Dick Hunsaker, 11th year here at UVU, 190 wins, 115 losses. Time now for your starting lineups. Here's Eric Allen.
And now the starting lineup for our UVU Wolverines. At forward, a senior from Gallup, New Mexico, number 20, Alfonso Hubbard. Another forward, a senior from Clinton, Utah, number 22, Nick Thompson. At center, a junior from Bountiful, Utah, number 34, Ben Aird. At guard, a junior from Rosito, California, number 11, Jason Johnson. And the other guard, a junior from North Salt Lake, number 12, Dick Hunsaker. Head coach of the Wolverines is Dick Hunsaker, and assisted by Mike Kelly, Steve Payne, Paul Moss, and Sean Detweiler.
Very stylish headband. That's not just for style. He took, let's see, let me get this straight. 7 stitches in the chin in the first game in North Carolina back on November 12th against Carolina A&T. That's when he caught a headbutt to the chin. 7 stitches there. Then just the other night on Tuesday, again in North Carolina, this time against North Carolina Central, he ran into another head and got 5 stitches above his left eye. So he really ought to just wear a helmet. There you see Marty Wilson, head coach for the Wave of Pepperdine. And there's that stylish headband we were talking about for Holton. UVU, just their second home game this year. They're 1-0 at home, 3-5 overall. Pepperdine on the road, 2-2. Both of their losses this season have been on the road, away from Malibu. Ben Aird, jumping center. We are underway here in Orem. Utah Valley and Pepperdine settle back. This one should be fun. Wolverines patiently trying to work it into Big Ben. His first touch out to Holton. Inside to Aird. And the first 2. Pepperdine's first touch. Lauren Jackson driving in, misses that one, and back up and in though. That time from Stacy Davis. Tied at 2 with a minute gone here in Orem, Utah. Nick Thompson, transfer from Oklahoma, buries the jumper. He sat out last season due to NCAA transfer rules. 2 years ago, he was playing for the Oklahoma Sooners. He's a senior. There's your first steal of the game. Hunsaker on the run, stripped away. It'll be UVU's ball.
Great job of Holton anticipating the play, anticipating the passing lane. Very easy steal there, and a nice job of getting out and getting an opportunity on the fast break.
Well, we talked about in the pregame show that turnovers would be a key. Nick Thompson misses inside. Pepperdine clears the glass. 4-2 Wolverines. Baker. Jordan Baker, 6'4" sophomore. Hanging jumper, good. Tied at 4.
Pepperdine early here, getting that ball in the paint. They had the offensive rebound put back a little bit earlier, and that time a nice drive to the paint. Wolverines are going to have a little bit more help inside to prevent those easy drives.
Colton Hunsaker inside Ben. Misses the turnaround, and Pepperdine looks to take their first lead of the game. Jumper. It's Davis. Ball will belong to Utah Valley.
A really nice rotation there defensively. They worked the ball around off the pick and roll. There was a nice pop from Davis into the open area, but Nick Thompson was able to get out and get a challenge on that.
Pepperdine doesn't substitute a whole lot. They're starting 5. Well, they've got 3 guys averaging more than 30 minutes a game out of the 40. Jump ball. Possession arrow will go to Pepperdine as UVU won the opening tip.
Yeah, very good play run there, and got Holton a wide open shot in the corner. A couple of really good screens set. The first was by Nick Thompson. The second, the cleanup screen was set there from Ben Aird. I like the crispness that the Wolverines have had in their offensive sets. They've come out, they've run their sets very well, and they haven't really struggled offensively to get a shot yet. And so that's a great sign, because you know that they're prepared and they're into the game early.
Starting 5 for both teams, still out there. Almost 3 minutes deep. Inside, big power move, Jet Raines.
Yeah, so far the picks on the ball have caused some problems for the Wolverines. Stacy Davis will go and set picks, that time for Lauren Jackson, and Lauren was able to penetrate, break the defense down, and got a nice dish off to Raines.
Hubbard's first shot, there you go. We're tied at 6.
Great read there from Alfonso Hubbard. He was being overplayed on the perimeter. Holton kind of got in a tough spot, picked up his dribble, and just a nice cut to the basket, and he was rewarded.
Raines has the hot hand. Pepperdine back out by 2.
Once again, another pick on the ball. That's going to be a theme, I think, for Pepperdine offensively. Picks on the ball and then popping the screener. Once he sets that screen, popping to the open spot. They've seen a couple of jump shots early.
Hunsaker thought about a 3. The shooting from three-point land is down this season from where it has been. Pepperdine, Lauren Jackson reaches in, ties it up. This possession arrow goes Utah Valley's direction. 16 and change left here first half.
You got Pepperdine going into a zone here offensively. This should be an easy shot, and it is.
There you go. We're tied at 8. That's already the 4th tie this first half.
Yeah, you see the play that the Wolverines ran. You know, they knew that the Wave were going to be in a zone, and they called the perfect play and a great execution. Ben with the knockdown shot.
Outside jumper, it's Willis this time. JJ with the rebound for UVU. Jason Johnson. First year in a Wolverine uniform. Nick Thompson working baseline, kicks it out. Holton will take a three this time. UVU maintains possession just for a second. And then Pepperdine's got it. Willis. Dishes off to Baker. Coach Marty Wilson up to our right, screaming, move it, move it, move it. Still 15 seconds on the shot clock. We've played 5 here in Orem. Baseline jumper is good from Raines.
I hate to repeat myself, Jim, but once again, another pick on the ball, another pop. So Wolverines are going to have to adjust, being able to get out to those, on those plays.
Nick Thompson, guess what? Ties it at 10. It's tied at 2, tied at 4, tied at 6, tied at 8, tied at 10. This one might just go down to who's got the possession last.
Yeah, and look at this defense for the Wolverines. They make a switch. They're going to the zone defense. Pepperdine gets an easy three-point shot initially.
UVU basketball. That brings us to our first media timeout. 14-19 to play, first half. All tied up here in Orem.
Welcome to Utah Valley University, home to an educational philosophy that engages its students in hands-on, practical education. I invite you to learn more about one of Utah's largest, fastest growing, and most dynamic universities.
Well, it's tied at 10, and if I told you why, you'd understand why. Field goal percentage, 56 to 56%. Field goal shooting, both teams have put up 9 shots. Both teams have made 5. Both teams have attempted 2 3-pointers. Both teams have missed both of their 3. It's like all the way, both teams have 4. Everything is dead even.
Yeah, 1 turnover for each team, 4 total rebounds for both teams, 6 points in the paint for each, 1 steal for each, so it should come as no surprise, right, that the game is tied at 10.
5 ties so far in the first 5 minutes and change. Pepperdine riding a wave of 4 straight victories, coming in here off a 10-point win over Montana State. Inside, Wolverines have to go back outside. It's Nick Thompson. Now to Hunsaker.
And Pepperdine, too, Jim, has switched into a 2-3 zone. Previously, they had only played that on the out-of-bounds plays. They were man before. Now they've made the switch to the 2-3 zone.
Wolverine starting 5 still out there. JJ from the corner. That's a first 3 of the game.
Nice job there from Jason Johnson, just overloading that side. The defender was flying at him. He used a very nice shot fake, got the defender in the air past him, collected himself, and knocked it down.
13-10, Wolverines. So if form holds true, Pepperdine needs to hit a 3 here to tie it up again. That's the way it's gone thus far. And Willis travels with the ball. Well, we talked about turnovers in the pregame show. Pepperdine comes in here averaging almost 17 turnovers a game. UVU not much better at 14.5 turnovers a game. So both teams really trying to cut that down.
Well, and for obvious reasons, you don't want to turn the basketball over, but as the game has gone so far, each time you do turn it over, it can be critical because it's such a close game, and that'll play out through the rest of the game. But throughout the whole game, you have to take care of the basketball. It'll give yourself more possessions.
Taylor Brown into the game, along with Antoine Hosley for the Wolverines. Jason Johnson with it. Looks inside to Ben. Out top, Nick. He'll take a 3. Pepperdine with the rebound. It's Jordan Baker. Willis now. Back over to Baker. Working against JJ. Baseline drive from Raines. Tried to dish it off. Ball saved from going out of bounds. JJ did a nice job. Wolverines have it.
Yeah, great job rotation-wise from Jason Johnson. He came down from the perimeter, who he was guarding out on the perimeter, swiped the ball away. Really nice awareness coming down and providing that help defense.
Antoine Hosley, perhaps the fastest player on the team, with the ball in his hands. Taylor Brown, who has been deadly at times from three-point range, also in the game for the Wolverines. And now Nick Thompson with 5 seconds to shoot. Spins in the lane. Won't go. Taylor Brown with the rebound and a whistle inside. It's going to go against Pepperdine. Another timeout. Wolverines by 3, just under 12 to play.
During this special time of year, we want to invite you to become a part of our family.
During our most wonderful Buy of the Year sales event. You've got to come and see us.
It's the most wonderful buy of the year.
Looking to experience the foods of Brazil? Tucano's Brazilian Grill. Exotic tropical drinks. Freshly prepared choices from our salad festival. Skewers of freshly grilled meats, sliced sizzling at your table, served with the Brazilian flair. Tucano's Brazilian Grill, with locations in Salt Lake, Provo, Albuquerque, Colorado Springs, and Boise.
Pepperdine down by 3 early to Utah Valley. Just under 12 minutes to play here in the first half. Thanks for stopping in on UVU TV this evening. Wolverines have improved their shooting just a bit now. 6 of 12, that's 50%. Well, actually, I guess that they've made 1 out of their last 3 shots. But still, they have a 3-point lead. And the basketball. Hunsaker back into the game. He'll trigger. Will Sinclair's in for Ben Aird.
You know, a couple things that I want to point out. If Pepperdine's going to play this zone, a couple things the Wolverines need to do. They need to have movement. They can't just stand in one place. They've got to have movement from all 5 players. They've got to penetrate from the perimeter, and they also have to crash the offensive rebound. I think those 3 areas are going to be key and could give the Wolverines an advantage.
Pepperdine going to the bench for the first time. There's a travel by Hosley, so Wolverines commit their 2nd turnover. Pepperdine with 3 thus far.
See, if they're going to play, you know, the Wolverines were getting some easy shots, I think, offensively at first, and Pepperdine decided to make the switch, and it slowed them down a little bit. They'll make the adjustments, no doubt, but I think those 3 key areas will be important for them.
Davis pulls Pepperdine to within 1. Well, both teams had had a 2-point lead until the Wolverines had pulled ahead by 3 there. This is the first 1-point margin for either team. Hunsaker for 3. Bottom. Olton Hunsaker on the season just 20% from 3-point land. He's now 7 of 30, but he shoots much better at home. And most college basketball players do. I know you did.
Yeah, definitely. And that was a great offensive possession for the Wolverines. They passed it. They didn't force anything. Against a zone, you can get an open shot. It's a lot easier than what some people might think, but you just have to be patient, work the ball around, and you can get a great shot nearly every possession.
5 seconds to shoot. Willis takes care of business for Pepperdine on that possession. 2-point game. 16-14. Jumper outside, Hunsaker airballed that one out of bounds. Zach Jones checks in for the Wolverines. Will Sinclair will take a seat. Zach Jones, one of the few seniors on this team. 3 seniors, Hubbard, Thompson, and Zach Jones. Jones from Phoenix, Arizona. Pepperdine down by 2 right now. Whistle away from the ball. That one's going to go against Pepperdine. Stacy Davis.
Offensive foul there, clearly a moving screen. I didn't see the Wolverine player who was fighting around that screen, but a lot of times the defender is the one who causes the illegal screen because the screener makes an adjustment at the very last moment, and that's what makes it an illegal screen.
Yeah, exactly. Hubbard over to Hosley. Back to Hunsaker. Zach Jones first touch, gives off to Fonz. Pepperdine on the run. Willis.
And those last couple possessions for Pepperdine gone back to that man-to-man defense.
Over to Scowen. First sub in the game for Pepperdine. Coming up on 9 minutes left here in the first half. 15-second shot clock. Baseline drive. Shot blocked by Hubbard. No foul. And I think the officials were kind of in disagreement as to who was going to have possession. It'll be Pepperdine's ball.
Yeah, it looked like after Alfonso had blocked that shot, it fell down and went off Willis, but a call was made, stays with Pepperdine.
Holton Hunsaker going to get called for that foul. That's the first team foul for UVU. 11 clean minutes of basketball action.
Yeah, this was good defense here by not allowing Jackson to get deeper into the paint. Holton did a very nice job. One-on-one defense, nothing more than that. Stopping him in the paint. Unfortunate that he got called for the foul as he went to reach in at the last moment.
First free throw in the game is good. From Lauren Jackson, averaging 17 points a game. That's his first here tonight.
And I want to make the point, too, I think that's the type of defensive effort that the Wolverines will have to have from their perimeter players, because with these picks on the ball, with the movement, the handoffs that Pepperdine looks to do, Wolverines have to be aware that every time a perimeter player gets the ball, there's that threat to drive, and they're going to look to drive.
We're tied once again. 6th time we've been tied here in the first half. Hosley, NBA 3. Pepperdine with another rebound. DeFreitas from Trinidad. Mariba DeFreitas with the basketball. Baker's got it. Working against Hunsaker. Goes over to Scowen. Got Hunsaker off his feet and buried the long jumper.
Yeah, that was a heck of an effort from Holton, however. Did a nice job of getting pressure, getting shot pressure, just got in the air on the shot fake.
6-0 run right now for Pepperdine. Longest run for either team here in the first half. Hunsaker tried to split the defense. Reach-in foul is going to get called against Jordan Baker of Pepperdine.
See that aggressiveness there. Holton returning the favor as he has to defend against that on the other end, returning the favor, making them defend perimeter as well.
Jason Johnson back in. Antoine Hosley takes a seat for the Wolverines. Ben Aird in the game. Nick Thompson. Holton Hunsaker and Taylor Brown stays out there.
I remember
you see Holton's bandages.
Yeah, he didn't have the chin bandage to begin with, did he? And it looks like he's got one over. If I'm seeing things, looks like he got one over his left eye. Maybe that's the one he had previously. But
well, the chin was first. Then 2 weeks later, the stitches above the left eye. And I don't know what the headband is for. Maybe just to protect him from the next one that's coming.
Maybe it's holding a bandage on. Who knows, right?
Yeah. The chin looks like it's not staying on too good.
Need to get Andrew, the trainer, working on that.
Holton Hunsaker, uncharacteristically, only making 1 of 2. The last 2 years, Hunsaker has been one of the best free throw shooters in the nation. It's a 1-point lead for Pepperdine. Making a 3-point lead. Scowen.
Really nice job of Scowen. He came off of a screen along the baseline and just did a nice, curled it around the screen and got the ball all the way to the basket. The Wolverine defenders are having to fight through on the perimeter, having to fight through a lot of screens. It's making it difficult for them.
JJ missing the jumper. No defensive or no offensive rebounding at all for Utah Valley tonight. Pepperdine jumper won't go. Well, defensive rebounding is there in the form of Nick Thompson. 2017, Pepperdine by 3, their largest lead. Air ball from Taylor Brown from three-point land. Wolverines now 2 of 7.
A really nice job there. Jason Johnson taking a charge. 23 Gillis.
That'll bring us to another timeout. Let's take it with them.
Amazing experience at college isn't just found in the classroom.
It's just as important to have a great experience away from the books.
At Wolverine Crossing, we totally understand that. Take a look around.
We offer an experience that helps you gain the most of what it means to learn and grow.
Plus, you won't find better amenities anywhere else. If you're looking for student housing that will enhance your college experience, look no further.
Wolverine Crossing, student living redefined.
Conveniently located just across the freeway from UVU.
See the replay, this is what I was talking about. That's great defense. And I know Coach Hunsaker always talks about when you're playing defense like that, or when you're playing defense in the post, you have to make that offensive player go through you or go over top of you. And in that case, Jason did a wonderful job of making the offensive player go through him, and he was in perfect position, took the charge. A really nice defensive effort there.
4th foul called against Pepperdine. 4 different players with 1 each. Meanwhile, Utah Valley only being whistled for 1 foul. That holds an Hunsaker. You know, we played 13 minutes here, and that's not bad. The officials are letting them go.
Yeah. I think something that you talked about, you mentioned in the pregame, Jim, is sometimes the Wolverines go through these lulls where the other team will put together a scoring run.
Right.
They've done that. Pepperdine has. The Wolverines got to get back into a rhythm offensively here and put an end to those runs.
Hunsaker misses from three-point land again. He's now 1 of 4. Wolverines 2 of 9. Inside, nice move. Jan Malin.
All these screens that are being set are causing issues because sometimes the defenders are getting wiped out of the play on the screen, and it causes a lot of rotation problems. That time Ben Aird a little bit late on the rotation inside to Malin.
Ben Aird, when's the last time you saw a 6'10" guy nail a three-pointer? Well, Ben, that's his 2nd one this season.
And that wasn't forced at all. That's a great shot. He has the ability, a great time to shoot that, and it was a perfect shot.
That stopped a 10-1 run that Pepperdine was on. Makes it back to a 2-point game. Hubbard with the rebound on the miss from Raines. Inside to Ben. Wow, Big Ben just beaten on Jan Malin. Malin 7 foot, 300 pounds. Ben 6'10", and he's shaking his head like, I can't move him. Jumper for 3, no. Raines can't get it to go. Hubbard cleans the glass again.
Nice defensive possession there. Wolverines got the rebound. I like the early post-ups that the Wolverines are getting offensively. Last possession for Ben Aird, this time for Nick Thompson.
Hubbard missed it from 3. Nick Thompson with a little tip inside to tie it at 22.
That shot from Alfonso came from that early post-up from Nick. He and Ben are doing a great job getting down the floor, getting early post-ups, and it's making their offense, getting into their offense a lot easier.
There's your 7-footer with it. Gives over to Scowen. Ball slapped away, stolen away. JJ, 3-on-1. Takes it all the way. and blows the layup. Coming back, Jet Raines with the flush. There's that'll demoralize you.
Yeah, that's a tough 2 possessions there, because you had the Wolverines out in transition. Looked like they almost had a 2-on-1. See the replay here of Pepperdine getting the ball, going back. Jordan Baker, the Wolverines didn't have a chance defensively because they had that 3-on-1, 2-on-1 on the other end, and a simple dish off and finish from Jet Raines.
Raines takes a seat, gets a breather. Leading scorer in the game with 8 points. Wolverines down by 2 right now. 4 minutes left here in Orem, first half. Hunsaker for 3. Again, the ball does a lap around the rim, comes out of there. Pepperdine coming back, and 1. Or did he wait? Or was that good? No.
I think they're waving it off.
They're waving that one off. They're going to call a charge on Stacy Davis. That'll bring us to another timeout. 3:48 to go. First half, Wolverines down by 2.
Dawn is breaking at Utah Valley University. 33,000 students are descending on campus. What are they after? Knowledge? Opportunity? They might be pursuing an MBA, an automotive certificate, or a bachelor's degree in philosophy. But despite their different paths, they share a common understanding.
My to-do list is a long one, but with Utah Community Credit Union's free mobile deposit, it's not as long as it used to be. To deposit a check, I use my UCCU app to enter the check amount, take a picture of the front of the check and the back, and hit submit. Done. Doing all of my checking right from my phone, it's one little thing that makes my to-do list actually doable. Okay guys, let's go.
See the replay here coming out of commercial. An excellent job. Holton was the one who took the shot on the offensive end, was able to get back. It's his responsibility to get back and defend any type of a run out, and you see the rotation that he had, getting himself over, placing himself in front of Stacy Davis, and a great job of drawing the charge.
Well, the score is just a 2-point game. Statistically, Pepperdine's starting to separate themselves as they're shooting 55% now compared to Utah Valley's 36%. Going to go down just a little bit lower after that miss, but Utah Valley controls. Zach Jones. 2 misses on that possession for the Wolverines. There remains a 2-point lead for Pepperdine with 3:15 left. First half here in Orem. Driving in, hitting the deck hard, and foul this time will go against the Wolverines. That one's going to go against Zach Jones.
See the replay here. You see Lauren Jackson coming off a screen, and as soon as he gets that ball, he continues his momentum and just continues that motion to the basket. Very hard to defend. Jason Johnson put in a tough spot there, trailing and chasing, and I think they called him for a tripping foul there.
First foul on Zach, and he'll take a seat.
That's been a pretty common motion or play that Pepperdine has run so far. Their guys going really from one side of the court to the other, coming off of some screens and just trying to continue that action to the basket.
Lauren Jackson can't get that one to go. Pepperdine with the rebound. Tried to dish off, ball on the floor. Hunsaker grabs it. And a timeout call from the bench before Holton could even roll over and travel with it.
Yeah, you see why Holton has all those stitches and bandages. Not afraid to get in there. Great hustle play. Coming up with the ball, and timeout called, I believe, from the sideline.
Well, you can wear one of those clear face guards, you know.
Yeah. I had a teammate who I played with who, well, a couple of them actually broke their nose and did different things and had to wear those, but those are no fun. You don't, it's just kind of not natural unless you're Rip Hamilton in the NBA, that's what he's known for. So it's tough to wear those and play. And you see Andrew Nelson there working on Holden. It's going to be an entire game process, I'm sure.
Just a 2-point game with 3 minutes left, first half. For a while there, it looked like Pepperdine was going to run off and leave them. They led by 5, and then the Wolverines came back to tie it at 22. Wolverine basketball.
Yeah, I was going to mention too, Pepperdine's switched up their defenses. They've gone man, they've gone zone, and hard to recognize, and Wolverines have done a good job recognizing it early.
Ben Aird gets the and one. We're tied at 24, and Big Ben will be at the free throw line.
Yeah, and this may have been a specific play that they drew up. It was just a simple play, Holton bringing the ball up. There's an action between the two big guys, between Nick and Ben. And Ben just does a simple duck-in move into the middle of the paint, over the defender or on top of the defender that's playing the middle of the defense. And he had him on his back, and he was able to make a really quick move, a really nice duck-in there in the middle from Ben Aird.
Well, after that 10-1 run that Pepperdine went on, it's now an 8-4 run for the Wolverines, and they're back out in front by 1. Second foul, by the way, against DeFreitas, a big 220-pound junior from Trinidad on the bench now for Pepperdine. Baseline drive, nice play from Lauren Jackson.
Yeah, no help there from the big men inside. I think Holton's going to be disappointed that he allowed the man to get around in baseline, but no help from the big men there, and a pretty easy basket there from Lauren Jackson.
Hubbard, long 2. Alfonso Hubbard. Gallup, New Mexico is hometown for Fonz. Averaging 10 points a game. Got 4 tonight. Wolverines back out in front by 1, under 2 to play till the break. Jackson trying to do everything inside, will not get the continuation foul. Instead, the reach-in foul is going to be on Ben Aird.
I think that's the first time we've seen, after all these screens that Pepperdine has set, first time we've seen somebody try and split the help that's being given on that, and Lauren Jackson tried to split there, but Wolverines called for the reach-in foul.
Just the 3rd foul called against UVU with 1:45 to play first half. Jumper from outside will not go for Jackson. UVU with a rebound. 1-point game here in Orem. A lot of folks didn't expect this. Pepperdine's been just tearing it up, 4 straight victories. And the Wolverines been turning over a lot.
Yeah, they have a good shot there from Alfonso. You know, he just made a nice cut right up to the free throw line and was wide open. That's really good offense.
Jackson basically misses a pretty easy little scoop layup. Pepperdine basketball, though. 1:07 left, first half. Antoine Hosley checks into the game for the Wolverines, replacing Holton Hunsaker. Hosley trying to stay with Jackson. Jumper outside from Baker. Nope. Ball tipped around. Wolverines come away with it. UVU nursing a 1-point lead. Under a minute to play. Hubbard, nothing. Baker with the rebound for Pepperdine.
And once again, good shot. You know, that wasn't a forced shot at all. A great rhythm shot early in transition, and Wolverines did a very nice job of getting back in transition.
Well, they tried to get it to Willis, driving inside, bounced away from him, and will go in the books as another turnover for Pepperdine. That is turnover number 9 thus far for the Wave. Just 2 turnovers for UVU here in this first half. Shot clock is off. UVU going to go for the last one here before the teams head to the locker room.
Watch inside in the paint here. Wolverines may try and go for some type of outside shot, but watch Ben Aird, Alfonso Hubbard, see if they get any type of action in the middle.
Ben Aird tries to set the screen. Hosley will put up a long jumper, and nothing but string music for Antoine Hosley. It was a long 2, and the Wolverines close it out with 4 straight points to lead at halftime by 3. Very impressive performance in that first half.
Yeah, they tried to set a screen up top. Antoine Hosley took away from the screen, knew the clock was running down. Tough shot, beautiful shot, great way to end the first half for the Wolverines.
We'll take a break, back with our halftime show. Wolverines leading Pepperdine 29-26.
Welcome to Utah Valley University, home to an educational philosophy that engages its students in hands-on, practical education. I invite you to learn more about one of Utah's largest, fastest growing, and most dynamic universities.
Dawn is breaking at Utah Valley University. 33,000 students are descending on campus. What are they after? Knowledge? Opportunity? They might be pursuing an MBA, an automotive certificate, or a bachelor's degree in philosophy. But despite their different paths, they share a common understanding.
Costa Vida was born on the beach, so the coast inspires how we prepare everything, from our crisp salads to our irresistible burritos. And with more fresh sauces and salsas to choose from, meals at Costa Vida are truly a custom experience. Costa Vida, the coast is calling.
Back at the UCCU Center, the Wolverines of Utah Valley with a surprising 3-point lead over Pepperdine thanks to Antoine Hosley. Nothing but string music on the shot that sends the teams to the locker room over and over. No matter how many times you replay it, it doesn't hit iron, folks. That was a beautiful shot. Hosley, by the way, in that first half, finishing with just 2 points. That was it. What a 2. It's homecoming here at UVU. What you're seeing out on the court is the finals of a dodgeball intramural competition. Last year when they did this, I nearly got killed at halftime. We're joined courtside, by the way, by UVU President Matthew Holland. And Matthew Holland, in case you haven't heard the name before, it's kind of renowned here in Utah because he went to Duke, and everybody loves people who went to Duke.
Of course.
You've seen good basketball. What do you think of the first half?
You know, I'm proud of these guys. They're coming out. They're fighting hard. I'm really pleased with their defense. They're holding on to their man, and they're defending against the shot well, and hanging on to the ball. I think that's a key here, is that the other team's turned it over quite a bit, and we've held on to it. I think that's making a difference today.
Wow, see? You're a better analyst than Matt is, really. Why don't you just handle the second half? We'll send Matt to your office to take care of whatever it is you do.
He'd probably do my job better.
Okay.
So,
hey, big news around here. This is the last year for UVU in the Great West Conference, which has been good for them, but you guys are now headed to the WAC.
Yeah. Well, the Great West Conference has been great. It really has. We've dominated it, you know, winning the Commissioner's Cup 3 years in a row. But it's been great for postseason play and organization. But it really was time to move on, and to be in the WAC, a regional conference with automatic qualifying bids and some terrific teams that lend themselves to regional rivalries. It's right where we want to be right now.
Tell me about the process, because I know that UVU tried to get into the WAC and came pretty close last year, right?
Yeah, we did. I was invited to make a presentation to the presidents. I thought we had a very compelling case. And we just, you know, we were disappointed it didn't come through, but we weren't giving up. So we stayed at it. I was busy. The athletic director was busy. We sent out materials to everyone again. A few months later, I contacted all the presidents. I flew around to meet with them personally. I wasn't leaving any stone unturned.
Good for you. I wondered where you've been lately. I haven't seen you around campus.
Yeah, it's you and everyone else.
All right, so in the WAC, much less expensive traveling because now no more games at New Jersey or South Texas, theoretically, and I'm sure that helps everything.
You know, that was a real selling point with the trustees when we went to say, you know, this is our plan. And they looked very carefully at the bottom line for us because things are so tight right now for the whole university. And when we could show them that not only does this help us with the prestige and with just the quality of play and so many of the other intangibles, but that we effectively break even. And we'll pay for our entrance fee by saving on travel costs. They were like, this is a slam dunk.
All right, so the last question I got to ask you is the question that I get asked more than any other, and I'm sure you know what it is.
When are we getting a racquetball team?
Yeah, when are we getting a racquetball team? No, football.
Yeah.
Is it in the works?
Well, you know, a school this size and in this region and as much as this community loves athletics, I've never taken it off the table. I think in the future it probably is here. Right now, as we're building the university in a period of real economic difficulty, it's just not the time to do it. But the next step for us is to get into a regional-based Division I conference. That now is in place, and that's a big step forward for us.
Well, we will look forward to it, maybe under your regime, before you and I both turn 95 and have to retire.
You'll make that, I'm sure.
Oh, no. You'll be there before I will. Let's argue about age. President, good to see you again.
Thanks
for dropping by.
Always good to be with you, Jim.
President Matt Holland, the president of Utah Valley University here in Orem, Utah, and quite a basketball fan. He knows what he's talking about, folks, when he's talking about turnovers. Pepperdine, 9 first-half turnovers. Utah Valley, just 2 first-half turnovers. And we told you in the pregame show that was going to be a key because Pepperdine came in here averaging 17 turnovers a game. UVU came in here averaging 14 turnovers a game. All right, they're telling me we're going to show some highlights. Matt's not here to talk about them, so I'll do my best. There's Holton getting his stitches worked on. JJ hitting a long jumper from outside. Back inside. This game was tied 8 times in the first half. The lead changed hands 6 times. The largest lead by Pepperdine was 5. That was with 6.5 minutes to play. The largest lead by UVU in that first half was 4 with 11 minutes to play in the first half. If you joined us late, back and forth they went with lots of inside play, lots of rebounding for Pepperdine. In fact, 21 rebounds for Pepperdine in that first half, just 12 for Utah Valley. The flush coming from Jet Raines there. The score was tied at 2, at 4, at 6, at 8, at 10. Then, with the score 16-12 in favor of Utah Valley, Pepperdine went on a 10-1 run to lead 22-17. At that point, UVU, 5 straight points to tie it at 22. Game tied at 24, and UVU closes out 4 straight points at the end of the first half. The final 2 coming from Antoine Hosley. Utah Valley 3-5 on the season. Pepperdine 4-2 on the young season. But Pepperdine's 4 wins have come in their last 4 games. Meanwhile, Utah Valley 1-0 at home. I know we've talked about this before. Can you tell I'm stretching? I'm stretching because Matt Peterson, who disappeared, I just did highlights, by the way. So evidently, I am getting your post-game sandwich now.
Thank you.
Because you weren't here for highlights.
Well, I have a confession. I was over talking to Gordon Chiesa, who is working now for the Orlando Magic. Longtime Jazz associated with the Jazz.
Bigger name at the other end of the table.
I just wanted to go, I had introduced myself to him last year. He remembered my name. He remembered where I work. So I was pretty impressed with that. So I was trying to get what he thought, what he thought of the game. So I'll be glad to give you my sandwich at the end of the game, and I'll even throw in a drink and some chips for that.
Yeah. I've heard this before. All right. Matt Holland told us he was impressed by the fact that UVU held onto the ball as well as they did and forced Pepperdine into turnovers. You tell me you're analysis of that first half.
Yeah, I agree with that. And, you know, he
that's
comes.
not an analysis.
Well,
you can't agree with the president.
Well, I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah,
you know.
I understand.
So I agree with his analysis. I think there are a couple other things. Going back to what we talked about in the pregame, the importance of when opponents go on runs and go on these spurts in games, that it's important for the Wolverines to stop those and even put together a run of their own. So I think the fact that they haven't had a lot of turnovers, that they've forced Pepperdine into some tough situations. You see the stats there. Wolverines have 7 more shots. I think there's a lot of good things that the Wolverines did in that first half. And they've got a 3-point lead, so they've got to feel very confident coming out of the locker room. I know that Coach Hunsaker was going to reiterate a lot of the things that he mentioned in the pregame or before the game, and I know that he'll make some slight adjustments, maybe talk to him about certain things that they can do. But I think a lot of good things can be said for the Wolverines. The fact that they've held Jackson, the leading scorer, Lauren Jackson, for Pepperdine, to 4 points.
Yeah.
Averaging 17 on the year, holding him to 4 points. We also talked about, Stacy Davis. He also has 4 points. So a lot to be said for the Wolverines' defensive effort in that first half, and offensively, scored 29 points. Not the highest output, but it's got them the lead, and their defense has really spurred a lot of things for them in the first half.
But Utah Valley appears to me, Matt, and correct me if I'm wrong, as if I'm worried about this, that Utah Valley is the type of team this year, they're going to be happy with a very low-scoring 50-point game anytime they play.
Absolutely, and it's because they pay so much attention to defense. Being around the program and knowing the program, there's so much attention that's paid to defense and offense too, but anytime, I've said this for as long as I can remember, any time that you can defend, you're going to be in every single basketball game. If you can defend, you'll have an opportunity and you'll have a chance. Holding Pepperdine to 26 points in the first half is a very good feat for UVU. So if they can continue that and continue to play well on offense as they have done, they haven't shot the ball particularly well, 38%. 23% from the 3, and they've only shot 3 free throws. So if they can improve on that just a little bit, they could shoot the ball a little bit better, maybe get to the free throw line a little bit more, and their 3-pointers, 3 of 13, those shots haven't fallen for them. But I like what's gone on, and I like how things are looking forward for the Wolverines in the second half.
Wolverines have lost 3 in a row coming in here. We've mentioned that multiple times in the first half. And it was a brutal, brutal start to this season with 7 of the first 8 games on the road. They lost in Indianapolis to IUPUI to start the season by 13. They beat North Carolina A&T by 9 that night. Then went up to Washington State 2 days later, a 15-hour plane trip with a bus ride from Spokane down to Pullman, Washington, coast to coast. And they played horrible against Washington State. They were in the game for a while till Washington State ran off like 17 straight points. And then a couple of other losses the Wolverines have had by 25 and by 18 points. They got themselves into a deep hole thanks to a 16-0 run, a 13-0 run. Not so in this game. 6-0 was the worst they gave up.
Yeah, we're looking at some additional stats here. Wolverines, as we said, 3 of 13. That's such a key number for UVU. 2 turnovers. I don't remember the last time that the Wolverines only had 2 turnovers in a half against an opponent, and 9 assists. So they're taking care of the ball, they're maximizing their possessions, and they're being unselfish with the basketball. And you look at Pepperdine, 0 of 4. They've got 9 turnovers and only 6 assists. So kind of 2 sides of the story there. And maybe those numbers play into this 3-point halftime lead that the Wolverines have. So I think defensively, one key aspect for UVU in the second half is Pepperdine is trying to drive. They're trying to drive the basketball. They're trying to get in the paint. They're coming off screens. They're setting a lot of screens for each other. So how the Wolverines defend that in the second half, I think, will be something to pay attention to.
Yeah, I'm somewhat surprised that Pepperdine is 0 for 4 in 3-pointers. I mean, they came in here shooting, 36% from beyond the arc. Meanwhile, the Wolverines at 34%. But it's the Wolverines who are 3 of 13. And Pepperdine just 0 for 4. If you were coaching Pepperdine, if you were Coach Marty Wilson, what adjustments are you going to make?
Well, first of all, I'm happy that I'm in Malibu. That's the first thing.
Yes, one of the most beautiful college campuses in America, by the way.
Yeah, that's the first thing I'm happy about. But the second thing that I'm looking at, and what I would tell my team is, continue to penetrate, continue to be aggressive. I think each of those three-point shots that they've had, I don't think they've been forced. Likewise, I don't think the three-point shots for the Wolverines have been forced. So I'm sitting there, I'm telling my team, look, we're in a good spot. We've shot the ball really well. We've got to cut down on our turnovers. We have to cut down on our turnovers, and you can't have another 9 turnover half. And those assists have to be a little bit higher. So I think stay aggressive. When you have Stacy Davis and you have Lauren Jackson, I think as a coach, you're maybe trying to get them a little bit more involved where they each only have 4 points. So those 2 players are likely going to come out very aggressive in the second half. So I don't know if I answered your question, but those are just some of the thoughts that I'm thinking
luckily
of.
for you, it was an extended halftime. So if you were their coach, you had plenty of time to say all that to him.
I did have plenty of time. I could go on for longer if
No,
you'd like.
no, we're done, Matt. We're done. We're going to take a break, please. We'll be back with our second half. Then you can finish up.
All right.
Matt Peterson back in Orem.
Welcome to Utah Valley University, home to an educational philosophy that engages its students in hands-on, practical education. I invite you to learn more about one of Utah's largest, fastest growing, and most dynamic universities.
Hi, my name is Tony. I'm a student with UVU Automotive, and this is my classroom. At UVU, you can graduate with a diploma and a resume.
We're in Orem, Utah. I'm Jim McCall along with Matt Peterson. The Wolverines of Utah Valley out in front of Pepperdine, 29-26. Getting set to start the second half. Wolverines in that first half, 38% shooting. Pepperdine, 48% shooting. You look at the stats, a lot of them, you'd say, wow, Pepperdine must be in front. It's the scoreboard that counts. Both teams made 12 shots from the floor in that first half. Wolverines, members of the Great West Conference for their final year in the Great West Conference, headed to the WAC beginning next season, where they'll take on teams likes of New Mexico State, Seattle, Denver, Cal State Bakersfield, who the Wolverines will play twice later this season. And according to Matt Holland, football is on the horizon, but so far away that you really can't see it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's obviously something they're striving to. I didn't hear his comments, but you look at it, it would be an exciting time around here if that were to happen. But I think, as he said, it's probably a little ways down the road.
But it's exciting just to be going to the WAC because, you know, you're going to play some teams closer to home. There's going to be some rivalries because a lot of the fans from those teams close will travel, and you're going to get that stuff going. UVU fans will be able to travel to those games, so
and you have affiliation. You know, for so many years, the Wolverines they did have affiliation, but it was, you know, different conferences, different things, different events happened, and you know, this gives them a presence. And I mean, this will do wonders for every sports program that the Wolverines are a part of. You know, basketball is what we watch, but every other sport. You know, you saw the women's soccer team come out at half. It's, you know, it's such a great thing. You know, they have a chance to go to the postseason tournament. It's just really exciting. I wanted to make one other comment. I think we should keep a running total of Holton's bandages because I think he's added a couple since we started the game. Maybe we could have a running total of that.
Both teams start the same 5 in the second half that started the first half. Nobody in any foul trouble. Ben Aird with the steal, and was he fouled? Yes, he was. Lauren Jackson, his first. He's got one. Baker's got one. Willis has one for Pepperdine. Davis has 2. DeFreitas has 2. So nobody with more than 2 for Pepperdine. Meanwhile, for Utah Valley, just 3 players with 1 foul each, including Dick Hunsaker and Ben Aird, 2 starters. Free throw from Big Ben is no good.
And that was a huge effort play to start the half. You know, Ben was denying the pass, denying the reversal that was going to be going through Stacy Davis. Way out past the 3-point line. So just a great effort play. He didn't necessarily have to be out there. Wasn't rewarded with 2 free throws, but a great effort play to start the half.
Ben misses them both. Ben Aird, only player in the game for either team in double figures. He's got 10 points. Pepperdine. Willis works against Nick Thompson. Still 12 seconds to shoot. Willis forces the contact from Ben Aird and drew the foul. Basket will count. Ben Aird picks up his second.
Yeah, I see Coach Hunsaker making the motion there, and it looked like he was yelling stay down because Ben fell for that last pump fake, as you see here. He did a spectacular job. A lot of switching going on for the perimeter players there and for the big guys out top. Ben did an unbelievable job of defending up until just that last shot fake got up in the air and called for the foul.
Caleb Willis, just one of 3 seniors on this Pepperdine team, misses the free throw. Wolverines lead is 1. Minute gone here in the second half. We're in Orem, Utah. UCCU Center. Hook shot, Ben Aird. He's got 12.
Sorry, Jim, that looks like the exact same play that they started the first half with. They're going inside, getting Ben established early, and he rewards him. Another great offensive play.
3-point lead for the Wolverines. 3-pointer. Good. Lauren Jackson. And we're tied again. 9 times this game has been tied. Nick Thompson and 1. Well, you know, that first half really should have knocked on wood or something, because I pointed out it was a fairly cleanly called and played game. Not that many fouls. Now all of a sudden there's a whistle every possession.
Yeah, and it was only a matter of time before I think we saw that play from Nick Thompson. We know that he is a superior ball handler for his size. He's got extreme skill, and he had a lot of space. He had a big man guarding him. He just took his time and made a move. And as we see in the replay, a great finish on the foul. And as you said, I like how it's gone, though, because the Wolverines have got to the free throw line 3 times, same as they got in the first half.
Thompson's got 9 points for Utah Valley. They lead again by 3. Pepperdine, jumper. Bouncing around. Shooter's bounce for Stacy Davis.
Pepperdine, when they do their offense, they get a lot of those shots that are about 18 to 20 feet, not quite all the way out to the 3-point line, but their offense seems to create a lot of opportunities there.
Wide open, JJ can't get it to go. Ben Aird with another rebound, his 3rd. Thompson will take a three. Pepperdine with possession now following that miss. And a whistle away from the basketball as Nick Thompson got tied up with Jet Raines. Nick Thompson picks up the foul, his first. And the second team foul. 4 fouls called here in 2.5 minutes. Caleb Willis with it for Pepperdine. Goes over right side to Lauren Jackson. Raines now puts it in the hands of Baker. Back to Jackson. Working against Nick. Nice drive down the lane, lays it up and in. Pepperdine by 1.
And what did we say at half? Lauren Jackson, Stacy Davis, they're going to be looking to be much more aggressive. You see Lauren Jackson hit a 3 already this second half, and that nice move inside. That's going to be a tough defensive task because he's going to be a lot more aggressive.
Davis with 6 points for Pepperdine. Hunsaker for 3. Holton Hunsaker 1 of 7 from 3-point range. Pepperdine tried to get it going, but it will belong to UVU.
Yeah, that was not a smart pass because you have Jet Raines, who's running down the middle of the floor, you know, one of the bigger guys for Pepperdine, trying to pass him the ball at just about the free throw line. Couldn't really expect him to do much with it from there. Not a very good pass.
11 turnovers in the game for Pepperdine. Just 2 for UVU, none here in the second half. JJ trying to drive. He'll draw the foul. My goodness. This could turn out to be a long game if they're going to give us this many whistles.
Yeah, I think that's
Jordan Baker with the foul.
Yeah, I think that's 3 for him. So
yeah. So he'll take a seat. Freitas is out there working against Ben Aird. Freitas, the only player for Pepperdine on the floor with 2 or more fouls. He's got 2. Ben Aird with 2. Heck of a matchup between the 2 big guys. Hunsaker misses another 3. Pepperdine with another rebound. 25 rebounds for Pepperdine. In a very low-scoring game. The drive is good from Willis. Gets tangled up. Willis and Ben Aird. They're okay. That brings us to our first media timeout. Wolverines down by 3. How about this for hot shooting? Pepperdine comes out second half shooting 5 of 5. Doesn't get any better than that.
And you look at too, Jim, when Pepperdine has 37 points and 24 of them have come in the paint, that's clearly a nice job of them running offense, getting it inside. You know, they still are only 1 of 5 from the 3-point line, so you know, Wolverines will know that defensively, that a lot of their points are coming from inside, and when they get that drive, when they get that penetration.
Pepperdine right now in a 6-0 run, matches the longest run of the game for Pepperdine. Nick Thompson Bounces inside. Out it goes to JJ. He'll drive in. Tried to feed back to Ben and ran over a Pepperdine player. Jason Johnson picks up his first. Team's third of the half. Antoine Hosley replaces Holton Hunsaker in the lineup for the Wolverines.
I think this is a pretty important time for UVU, as we've talked so much about those runs. Pepperdine is on that run. It's time for the Wolverines to dig in defensively. They've got to have someone step up offensively also.
Taylor Brown also into the game for Hubbard. Pepperdine basketball. They lead by 3. Coming up on 15 minutes left in this one. Willis. Inside, turnaround jumper, good. That one from De Freitas, little hook shot. It's a 8-0 run. Thank you. Pepperdine. Wolverines ice cold in the second half. 2 of 7 from the floor. Pepperdine hasn't missed yet. 6 of 6. Willis goes over to Freitas. There's their first miss. And it looks like Ateef Russell going to be called for climbing over the back trying to get that rebound.
Pepperdine's coaching staff not happy about that call, but from our angle, it looked like a pretty good job of boxing out by Taylor Brown. Well, from what I saw, he did everything. You see him kind of going in here, boxing out. You got the defender going over top. Maybe would have been best just to let that one go, but Wolverines come out with the call. Now, offensively here, down by 5. Once again, I think the Wolverines are at a critical point in the game here. Look for them to get some offense through either Alfonso or Ben Aird inside.
Bonds tries to drive in. Contact inside. My goodness. I don't know, maybe the officials heard us talking in the first half, like, thanks for letting them play.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden they're making up for it.
Yeah, and I think we can see, as you see the move here from Alfonso and a push and a foul there. The game has become much more physical, but physicality, you can play physical without fouling, and unfortunately I think both teams have resulted to fouling.
Jet Rain's first foul, team's 5th against Pepperdine in the half. Hubbard has it on the baseline. Lost the handle, picked up by Hunsaker. Back to Hubbard. Double team. He'll take the 3. Bottom.
Yeah, important shot there. And you know, you think and look at the lineup that the Wolverines have. The 2 leaders are Holton Hunsaker and Ben Aird. You think that the offense, whoever is going to be the offense as they're struggling, is going to come from one of those 2 players. And a great shot from Holton in the corner.
Just his second 3-pointer tonight. Taylor Brown with the turnover gets it ahead to Hubbard for the easy lay-in. So much for that 8-0 run. Wolverines come right back and tie it at 39.
And getting the momentum back off of turnovers, off of great defensive play. When you can defend, you're always going to be in the basketball game.
Pepperdine has led twice by 5 points, only to see the Wolverines jump right back in it. Just under 13 minutes left here in Orem, Utah. Willis goes over to Russell, working against Taylor Brown. Gets the floater as the shot clock was running out. When that ball left his hands, there was 1 second left on the shot clock.
Incredible defensive possession all the way around for the Wolverines there. A great shot at the buzzer, bailing Pepperdine out.
Big Ben out to Holton. Hubbard's got it, baseline drive, threw it away, tried to get it over to Big Ben. Lauren Jackson stepped in front of it. A rare turnover for the Wolverines, their first of the half and their 3rd in the game. Wolverines knew they were going to have to play a really good ball control game to have a chance against Pepperdine. Jackson, nice move inside.
Yeah, tough shot there. That was great defense from Holton Hunsaker. Not much he could have done there. Lauren Jackson just with a tough finish.
Jackson's got 11 points, first Pepperdine player into double figures, and Coach Dick Hunsaker wants to take a timeout. We'll keep this one here with 11:44 to go in the ball game. Wolverines led at halftime by 3. Then with that lead at 3 by UVU, Pepperdine ran off 8 straight points to lead 39-34.
See the replay here. That's of a charge that was called a little bit earlier on Antoine Hosley. Ball going inside, making its way out. That's a good aggressive play. Just have to have a little bit more awareness of where the defenders are when you drive to the basket.
Looking ahead, Wolverines on the road, taking on Troy University, or excuse me, Weber State on Wednesday, and then Troy University in Alabama a week from today. Meanwhile, Pepperdine, how tough is this? They go home to Malibu to play UC Riverside, and then they go to Honolulu to take on Hawaii before returning to Malibu. That's not a bad schedule.
No, that's a dream trip right there. There's that play to start the second half. Ben Aird denying, getting in the passing lane with the run out here.
Antoine Hosley, Holton Hunsaker, Ben Aird, Taylor Brown, and Alfonso Hubbard on the floor for the Wolverines. Pepperdine by 4 with 11:40 left. Taylor Brown for the Wolverines gives over to Hubbard. Works inside, tried to dish it off to Ben, goes through his hands. Out to Hunsaker. Ball slapped away, he recovers. 8 seconds on the shot clock. There's a 3. Online but short.
And Pepperdine's defense has a lot better in the second half than what it was in the first half, whether it be they're in the zone or in the man-to-man. Maybe they were challenged at halftime, but comparing the two halves, second half has been a lot better for them defensively than the first half was.
The Wolverines have put up 19 3-pointers and made 4. Pepperdine's put up 5 3-pointers and made 1. Willis with it. 6 seconds to shoot. Hanging jumper, good. It's a 14-5 run for Pepperdine. They lead by 6. Biggest lead for either team.
Those drives inside from the perimeter into different spots in the paint, whether they shoot it or whether they dish it off, has become a problem here for the Wolverines.
Ben Aird will take a 3. Well, nothing's going down now from beyond the arc for the Wolverines. 4 of 20. And in this half, just 1 of 7. Halfway through the second half. Pepperdine starting to flex a little muscle. Baker. 8 seconds on the shot clock. That one rattles around and comes out. Taylor Brown open momentarily, didn't take the shot, inside to Ben. And a whistle inside. Nope, coach took a timeout. Coach Dick Hunsaker didn't like something, and he took a timeout, a 30-second timeout.
He was upset and is still upset at Taylor Brown for not shooting that ball in transition when thought he had an open 3-point shot. I've been on the other end of that, so I know exactly what that's like. I've been in Taylor's position there, but I think that's what he is upset at, because the Wolverines have had a hard time in the second half getting quality open looks. They've been forced into a lot of 3-point shots, and coach is upset in that instance that Taylor, he thought, had an open shot and didn't take it.
Taylor's had a tough season thus far. He did have 15 points in one game. Other than that, bless his heart, he's had several games where he just couldn't get anything to go down. Been scoreless. Maybe he's a little gun shy.
Yeah, he could, and it's, been on that end of it as well. Sometimes it's frustrating when you don't have what you think is your rhythm and you maybe don't have as much confidence, but that's what Taylor does very well, is shoot the three-point shot.
Nick Thompson misses the three. Taylor Brown replaced in the lineup during that break. Zach Jones in. Pepperdine with yet another rebound. 28 rebounds compared to Utah Valley's 16. They tried to feed it inside to Davis. A little too hot to handle. Turnover Pepperdine. Their 13th turnover. That brings us to a timeout. We'll take it with them. 9:22 to play here in Orem.
Having an amazing experience at college isn't just found in the classroom.
It's just as important to have a great experience away from the books.
At Wolverine Crossing, we totally understand that. Take a look around.
We offer an experience that helps you gain the most of what it means to learn and grow.
Plus, you won't find better amenities anywhere else. If you're looking for student housing that will enhance your college experience, look no further.
Wolverine Crossing, student living redefined.
Conveniently located just across the freeway from UVU.
Well, Pepperdine has cooled off shooting in the second half. They hadn't missed a shot for a long time. Now they're all the way down to 82%, Matt. 9 of 11 shooting. Anytime a team is hot as that, you can expect the fact that they're going on a run.
Yeah.
And they did. 8-0 run. Now they push that to a 14-5 run, and they lead it by 6. Wolverine possession, down by 6. 9 minutes and change left here in Orem. Hunsaker over to JJ. Thought about a baseline drive. Out to Holton.
Pepperdine in that zone defense. They've, like we've mentioned, switched back and forth a lot tonight.
Hunsaker can't get the 3 down. Pepperdine basketball.
You know, earlier on when the Wolverines had success against that zone, well, they were working that interior, excuse me. It seems like Pepperdine has forced them out, forced them into long, difficult shots at times.
I'll say just 18% shooting from beyond the arc. 4 of 22 are the Wolverines. Jackson. Hunsaker had a piece of the ball, he thought, but they're going to call the foul on Holton Hunsaker. Not sure what Jackson was pleading his case about.
Well, the referee ruled that he passed it, or he was passing it, and so he and the coaching staff were arguing, I was shooting it.
Inbounds play, blocked by Zach Jones. Wolverines having a little trouble in the backcourt. Great block by Zach.
Yeah, great recovery. I thought that Malin had a wide open layup, but a great recovery on defense from Zach Jones.
Malin, 7 foot, 300 pounds. Zach Jones, 6'8". Don't know how much Zach weighs, but I guarantee it's not 300.
Yeah, look at the zone offense here. I think they're doing a little too much standing, not a lot of movement. That's what they need right there. Penetration. Don't settle for those long shots. Holton did a great job there, finding space in the zone, penetrating, and taking a good quality shot.
Contact inside, no whistle this time. Wolverines come away with it. Now all of a sudden they're letting them play again.
Yeah, great battle inside. Nice help recovery, nice defense. Zach Jones has come over and altered a lot of shots.
UVU's bench has come alive. Zach Jones with the block. Antoine Hosley with the 2. Wolverines trying to claw back into it. They were down by 6. Now it's just a 2-point game again. Coming up on 7 minutes left here at the UCCU Center. There's Malin. there. Put back by Baker won't go. Nick Thompson running the court. Big man all the way. Davis with the rebound for Pepperdine.
Action has certainly picked up here. I think we're going to be in for an exciting last 7 minutes.
Driving in, missing the scoop. Lauren Jackson fouled on his way to the hole. That was going to be called against Zach Jones of Utah Valley. 6:43 to play.
Welcome to Utah Valley University, home to an educational philosophy that engages its students in hands-on, practical education. I invite you to learn more about one of Utah's largest, fastest growing, and most dynamic universities.
Costa Vida was born on the beach, so the coast inspires how we prepare everything, from our crisp salads to our irresistible burritos. And with more fresh sauces and salsas to choose from, meals at Costa Vida are truly a custom experience. Costa Vida, the coast is calling.
See the replay here, a screen on the outside by Davis, and once again, Lauren Jackson able to split the defense. That was a couple plays ago when Holt was called for the foul, and they had the pass off there. To me, Jim, the last 7 minutes here is going to be all about that type of play. How well can UVU defend picks on the ball, because I think Pepperdine is going to follow that mindset right there. Lauren Jackson's going to have the ball on the perimeter. Either a big man's going to come up to set a screen, or you're going to get Stacy Davis coming up to set screens, and it's going to be all about how can the Wolverines defend that action.
Jackson's got 11 points. He's perfect from the free throw line. 3 of 3, give him 12 points now.
Ben, I was just going to mention Ben here checking back in for Zach Nelson. Zach played great. I thought he came in, gave him a lot of things. Excuse me, Zach Jones, I apologize. Zach Jones gave them a lot of energy, gave them a presence defensively. His minutes were quality when he was in.
6.5 minutes left. Wolverines are down by 4. Another 3 miss. Pepperdine on the run. Jackson. He misses. Nick Thompson went up and over the back of Caleb Willis, and boy, oh boy, did that make Marty Wilson, head coach of Pepperdine, a bit unhappy because no foul was called.
Yeah, there's a lot of good battles going on inside between the bigs of both teams to fight for those rebounds offensively and defensively.
Jackson off the glass. He charged. The two officials, yeah, now they do agree. Take that basket off. He charged. Jackson's second personal foul.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty good call. Really nice rotation from Jason Johnson. I think Marty Wilson was arguing for Pepperdine that that ball was already in the air before the defender was set, but on the replay we see that Jason had moved over and was in perfect position.
A whistle away from the ball this time inside. That one's going to go against Pepperdine's Mariba DeFreitas. 6'9" junior picks up his third foul. DeFreitas has 3. Baker's on the bench with 3 for Pepperdine. Jackson and Davis with 2 fouls each.
Yeah, and this could be a potential advantage for UVU in the last 6 minutes because they're already in the bonus. 2 more fouls against UVU. Pepperdine is in the bonus. So that's a green light for me if I'm UVU. I'm driving, I'm being very aggressive, knowing that if I get fouled, I'm going to the free throw line.
Ben Aird, uncharacteristically now, just 1 of 4 from the free throw line. He came in here for crying out loud, shooting 73% from the stripe. .540 left here in Orem. Willis feeds inside. Nice feed to Stacy Davis.
Yeah, that pick on the ball continues to cause problems rotation-wise for UVU. A very nice dump off, a very nice pass there for Stacy Davis.
6-point lead matches their largest. JJ dishes off to Ben. Ben Aird with 14 points.
UVU returns the favor there. Really nice play. Lisa Johnson coming off of that set, coming off of that screen, aggressive. Defender had to come and help, a nice dump off.
Davis working against Big Ben. Back to a 6-point lead for Pepperdine. Antoine Hosley working against Russell. Drives in, dishes off to Ben. Can't get it to go. Battle. Pepperdine comes out of there with it. Jackson's got it. Stops in front of us here on the sideline.
And you can expect Pepperdine to try and use a lot of clock. They'll still be aggressive, but they're going to try and use a lot of clock, make sure that they get a good quality look, not going to try and force anything.
A charge. They're going to wave that one off. Offensive charge is the call on Pepperdine.
Yeah, great rotation. See Ben realize it, step over, right in place. Very nice defensive rotation from Ben there, recognizing the need for help.
Colton Hunsaker with it. Utah Valley still down by 6. Getting pretty near crunch time. Nick Thompson kicks out to Hunsaker. He'll take a 3. Bottom.
I really love that play because you look to get it inside. Nick Thompson, a great post-up player. Well, he created that shot. Holton did a nice job finding space on the perimeter. A great finish.
Wow. That time, DeFreitas, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Yeah, he thought he was going to have a defender behind him, but he had a lot more space, as you said, than likely what he thought. Let's see Wolverines if they can answer with a basket of their own.
Just under 3.5 to play. There's another 3. Back to just a 2-point game. Pepperdine wants to take a timeout to talk about this one. Just a 30-second timeout. 53-51.
This was action to get Holton coming along the baseline. There were 2 screens that were set. I believe it was Jason Johnson that set the first one. Ben Aird set the follow-up, the cleanup screen, and Holton with a great job squaring himself to the basket, getting his feet set and knocking down the jump shot. That was a great play. All parts of the play work together, and the result is what you want. Now, I don't think the Wolverines are going to be hoping to trade baskets here. See another replay. That's textbook coming off a screen there with a 3-point shot. I don't think that the Wolverines are going to want to trade baskets here, so let's see what they do to adjust for what Pepperdine's trying to do. And obviously, I think they've picked up a lot of momentum in the last minute or so offensively, and you could tell that they're confident when they get the ball on offense.
53-51, coming up on 3 minutes left. Russell for Pepperdine. Cut off on the baseline, kicks it out to Davis. Jumper won't go, rebound Malin. They've got a fresh 35, they'll turn it over on the travel. 16 turnovers for Pepperdine. Just under 3 left. Don't go away. Wolverines are down by 2.
Costa Vida was born on the beach, so the coast inspires how we prepare everything, from our crisp salads to our irresistible burritos. And with more fresh sauces and salsas to choose from, meals at Costa Vida are truly a custom experience. Costa Vida, the coast is calling.
Welcome to Utah Valley University, home to an educational philosophy that engages its students in hands-on, practical education. I invite you to learn more about one of Utah's largest, fastest growing, and most dynamic universities.
This is the previous play here. Jason Johnson with a wonderful dish off. Nice hesitation move at the top of the key. And you like that aggressiveness, going to the basket, not force anything, hitting your open teammate. And I think that's going to be the recipe for the Wolverines here in the last 3 minutes.
Ben Aird 14 points, but Holton Hunsaker's got the hot hand now from three-point land, especially 15 points now on 4 of 13 from beyond the arc. In that first half, Holton was just 1 of 6. Wolverine possession. Down by 2. It'll still be UVU basketball.
Yeah, that was another play designed to get inside to Ben Aird. You know, you get Nick Thompson with the ball at the free throw line, have a small player setting a screen for Ben, just try and have him duck into the middle. Great play, but a nice defensive play from Lauren Jackson, swiping the ball at the last minute.
Antoine Hosley gets it over to Hunsaker. 12 seconds on the shot clock, 2.5 minutes on the game clock. Wolverines down by 2. Low scoring affair here. Playing right into their hands. We're tied again. JJ.
Great play there. With the shot clock running down, I thought that the Wolverines were going to resort, and I thought Jason would resort to shooting the 3, but great baseline drive.
Ball tipped away. Out there. Jackson tracks it down for Pepperdine. 2 minutes to play. Shot clock still running, down to 12 seconds for Pepperdine. Willis over to Davis. Now to Russell. 3 seconds. They didn't know. I don't think Pepperdine realized that the shot clock did not reset when it was tipped up in the air and almost stolen.
Yeah, it looked like very little awareness there from Atif Russell. Didn't look like he was really anxious to shoot that three-point shot. Forced to take it at the last second. Great defensive effort. Best of the night for the Wolverines.
Nick Thompson with it for UVU. 1:20 to play. Foul's going to go. Nope, no foul. I'm going to say Nick
stepped out of bounds.
Stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, a little too aggressive there. Probably trying to force it a little bit around the baseline. Unfortunate turnover there for the Wolverines. Game tied up here. Very, very important possession here defensively for UVU. Going to get a timeout.
Pepperdine calls a timeout. 1 minute, 12 seconds to play. We are tied at 53. Pepperdine has led a couple of times by as many as 6. And after an 8-0 run, a 14-5 run, I thought Pepperdine might just run off and hide, but the Wolverines have done a great job battling back in this thing.
They have. Give them a lot of credit. You know, when Pepperdine has extended the game a little bit, Wolverines fought tooth and nail getting back into the ball game here. You're going to see a lot of replays. That was the last play, Lauren Jackson swiping away at the basketball. I think when you get down to these points in the game, it comes down so much to the fundamentals of the game. You know, defense, keep the man in front of you, help defense when your teammates need it. When the shot goes up, block out, rebound. These types of games come down to just the absolute fundamentals, and let's see which team executes better in the last minute and 12 seconds here. And I think which team is going to execute better, obviously, is yet to be seen. Which team is going to impose their will on the other.
53-53. Baker and DeFreitas for Pepperdine with 3 fouls each. Nobody else for Pepperdine out there with more than 2. For Utah Valley, nobody out there with more than 2.
Yeah, and Pepperdine's not in the bonus yet. They still have 2 fouls. Obviously, Wolverines aren't intending to foul here, but they do have a couple of fouls to get them until they are in the bonus.
Pepperdine basketball with 1:12 to go. Davis will trigger sideline. Gets it in to Willis. Coming up on 1 minute left. 22 seconds on the shot clock. Willis feeds inside to Davis. Working against Nick Thompson. Good. And an immediate. Well, the official thought Pepperdine's Marty Wilson, head coach, had jumped up and called a timeout. And Marty Wilson said, no, I didn't. So the official said, inadvertent whistle, never mind.
Yeah, see the replay there. Stacy Davis just way too low underneath. And I don't know if the Wolverines' game plan was to double team or to help, but Stacy just got way too low a position there. Put Nick Thompson in a tough spot.
Hunsaker for the lead. No good. Ben Aird with fighting for the rebound, taken away, and a whistle. Gonna go against Pepperdine. Caleb Willis picks up foul number 2.
Great look there from UVU. Looked like they tried to work the ball inside. Holton got a great look from the 3-point line. Came up just a little short. Give Ben Aird a lot of credit fighting inside. Critical free throws here.
Ben has struggled from the stripe. He's just 1 of 4 in this game. Again, on the season, though, 73%. He's due. There it is.
The reverse jinx.
55-54. UVU is down by just 1 with 39.6 to play. Ben Aird at the line with 15 points. 16 points. We're tied again. Pepperdine. There's a 3-second differential, shot clock and game clock. Game clock at 27. Willis has it. Are we staring overtime in the face? Driving. A charge. Jason Johnson draws the charge with 16.7 to play.
That's a great call. Jason, unbelievable awareness guarding the man in the corner. He knew that Lauren Jackson was going to take that ball all the way to the basket. Comes over, steps in the way. Great defensive play.
Wolverines can win it. Shot clock's off. 10 seconds to play. Hosley. Shaken. Can't get it to go. Nick Thompson tried to bounce it off a defender. We're headed to overtime. But it would have been over had Hosley hit that.
Yeah, they tried to get him the ball. They set a screen, or got a big man coming up to set the screen. Tried to get him and let him create. We saw how he hit that shot at the end of the first half. It looked like he tried to go to his right again, created offense back to the middle. Tough shot, good defense there from Pepperdine. Unfortunate, but Wolverines got to be very happy with where they are and very confident with where they are because they fought back. They're in the game. They're at home. They've got the momentum. Another 5 minutes of basketball.
Well, we told you in the pregame show there were going to be some fireworks tonight. I'm still not sure we've seen the most exciting part of this one yet.
Yeah, no, we got more exciting times to come.
5 minutes in overtime number 1. Matt Peterson just about fainted. Ben Aird cannot get it to go. Whistle and a foul against Pepperdine. That one will be against Freitas. His 4th.
Another well-designed play from UVU, getting the ball inside to Ben Aird. That ball goes into the corner to Jason Johnson. The good screen set from Nick Thompson coming across. A great play to start the overtime with. Get Ben back at the free throw line.
Well, Ben hit the 2 that helped send this game into overtime. But now he is 3 of 7 from the stripe. 16 points overall. leading scorer in the game for either team. Got the second one. UVU draws first blood in OT. Pepperdine out of the West Coast Conference. Utah Valley, Great West Conference. Willis goes over to Jackson. Up top to Davis. Jumper. Nope. Rebound Pepperdine's to Freitas. Fresh 35.
Tough break for UVU. That was another great defensive possession. Got the shot that they wanted. Just weren't able to secure the rebound.
Hosley goes for the steal. Pepperdine recovers though. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Baker can't get it to go. Slapped away. JJ has it. He's called for the double dribble. As he was going to the floor, tried to change hands on the dribble. Pepperdine will have it.
Yeah, well, look at this battle going on inside. You got both guys battling. Ben comes up with the block here. That ball is loose, and I think a pretty good call. Definitely a good call there.
Yeah.
Dribbled it with his right first, collected it with both, and then dribbled with his left.
1 minute gone in overtime. Wolverines now with a 1-point lead. Ben Aird's free throw, the only points here in overtime thus far. Baker tried to come off a screen. Hand check foul going to go against the Wolverines of UVU. Antoine Hosley, his first, team's sixth. Raines checks in and Davis takes a seat for Pepperdine. 3:43 to play in overtime. Willis gives over to Baker. Out to Freitas. Shuffles it off to Willis. 15 seconds, shot clock. 3:20 game clock. Willis, long two. No. Battling for the rebound. And it goes off a Pepperdine player right in front of us. DeFreitas can't believe it. Neither can head coach Marty Wilson. It'll belong to UVU.
Yeah, violent collision there. Tough to see from that angle. You would think we would have the best view of it here.
Well, I didn't see. I couldn't tell.
I couldn't either.
To be honest.
Yeah, the official had the best view there. Wolverines, unbelievable defense these last several possessions.
Coming up on 3 minutes left. Hook shot, Big Ben will not go. Tapped alive by the Wolverines. Floater from Hosley. Wolverines by 3.
That was Ben that tipped that out, I believe.
Yeah.
Kept that alive, tipped it out, missed his first shot. Great hustle plays for the Wolverines here.
6 points for Antoine Hosley. 2:40 to play. We're in overtime in Orem, Utah. Pepperdine down by 3 to Utah Valley. Hosley goes for the steal, reach around. He'll be called for the foul, trying to stop the drive of Lauren Jackson.
Yeah, and that's a play he didn't have to make. You know, he got caught. You're going to see the reach-in foul here. Definitely a foul. Thought the play was going to, Lauren Jackson was going to go a little bit further to his right. It's a foul he doesn't need to make. Tough bailout there at the top.
Hosley's second personal, team's 7th. 2:34 to play in overtime. Utah Valley 58, Pepperdine 55. Jackson's got 13 points. He's 4 of 4 from the charity stripe. Front end of the 1-and-1 is good. First point in overtime for Pepperdine comes from Jackson with 2:34 left.
Yeah, Wolverines, whether it be on this free throw, whether it be on other offensive possessions, any shot that goes up, they've got to have 5 rebounders going in. Pepperdine's been very active on the offensive glass and giving them some extra possessions in the overtime.
He missed the second. Ben Aird cleaned the glass. Utah Valley nursing a 2-point lead with 2:20 left in overtime. Hunsaker for 3. Got it! You gotta be kidding me! Holton Hunsaker, who couldn't hit anything in the first half, now with 18 points. And UVU with 5-point lead. 2:01 to play. And Pepperdine wants to take a timeout.
You know, it's the play that we've seen run. That was like identical to the three that he hit a little bit early on. It's the exact same play. You get Nick Thompson handling the ball at the top of the key. There's a double screen that is set. The first screen is set, I believe. Once again, it was Jason Johnson setting the first one. The second screen coming around, set by Ben Aird, cleaning it up. I mean, it was picturesque. You see the replay. That looks exactly like the one that was earlier. And just a great play all around, wonderful screen set, and you know, obviously Holton with the guts to knock it down.
Holton Hunsaker, 18 points. He hit 1 3-pointer in the first half. He's now 5 of 15. He's the leading scorer. The most important thing, or most important stat rather, 61-56.
Yeah.
Wolverines with 2:01 to play. And I don't know about anything else, but I fully expect Holton Hunsaker to wear that headband every game the rest of the season.
He should.
Whether he needs it or not. It's the first time he's worn it this year, and basketball players being the superstitious lot that you are, says the guy who wears the same tie anytime they win. I'm wearing the same tie again.
That's good.
Pepperdine has won 4 in a row coming in here. This is the 3rd overtime game for Pepperdine this season out of 7 games. This is Utah Valley's first overtime game. Right now, UVU looking pretty comfortable in OT with a 5-point lead and 2:01 to play.
Yep. You know, and the story for Pepperdine here is going to be that they've got 2 minutes. They've got a 5-point deficit, so they don't have time to waste. So that tells me aggression is going to be what their objective is here in the last couple of minutes. They're also in the bonus, so anytime that they get fouled, they're going to go to the free throw line. Look for them on this out of bounds play that they have to, you know, make a quick move, make a quick pass. I go back to what I said a little bit earlier. Any shot, 5 Wolverines need to be in the paint, rebounding and getting and securing that ball.
17 seconds on the shot clock. We're under 2 minutes on the overtime game clock. A shot for 3 is good from Jackson.
There's that quick strike. You know, they knew that they didn't have it. Most likely Coach Wilson drew that play up. It was just like the Wolverines did, wonderfully executed for Pepperdine.
Just like that, a 5-point lead goes to just a 2-point lead for the Wolverines. Nick Thompson, baseline jumper. Nothing there, but blue jerseys on the rebound. 1:25 left to play.
Let's see if they drop some type of screen or down screen, and we're going to get a foul on Jason Johnson.
He got tangled up that time with Nick Scowen.
Scowen's going to be going to the free throw line.
Jason Johnson picks up his second personal. Scowen will be at the free throw line, where on this season he's only been there twice. He made them both. Scowen, a junior from Norway, misses the front end of 1-1, so will not get another one.
Yeah, Wolverines here, they're going to use clock. They're not going to force anything. They're going to try and get catches around the perimeter and likely have some type of play set up at the very, 10 seconds left and get into that play.
Coming up on a minute left here in overtime. Wolverines nursing a 2-point lead. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Inside to Ben. Turn around, blast, good! Wolverines by 4. 45 seconds left. OT. Pepperdine. Jackson. Long 2. No. Hosley with a loose ball rebound for UVU.
And Pepperdine's going to have to foul here. They're going to run out of time.
And coming back to foul is Lauren Jackson finally. Coach Marty Wilson up off the bench, hollering at his team to foul, foul, foul. They had run back down to the other end.
Yeah.
And Holton Hunsaker, one of the nation's best free throw shooters, at the line. Holton last year, 41 straight free throws. The year before, 38 straight. 30.6 seconds to play in overtime. UVU leading by 4. Hunsaker's got 18 points. First one good. Four of UVU's last 6 points, courtesy of Holton Hunsaker. Makes them both. It's a 6-point lead with 30.6 seconds to play, and Dick Hunsaker of Utah Valley takes the timeout. I don't know about the headband. I'm sure we're going to see that. I'm not sure about the green jacket, though.
Yeah, a little bright, isn't it?
I like it.
Yeah.
You need one of those.
I do. That would put me on the map.
Speaking of being on the map, Holton Hunsaker now 20 points. Ben Aird 19. They're the 2 Wolverines in double figures. Jackson and Davis are in double figures for Pepperdine. Jackson 17 and Davis 12. But right now, with 30.6 seconds to play in overtime, Pepperdine 6 points down. You going to take a 3?
Yeah,
if you're Pepperdine?
I think you get the best shot as fast as you can. And the Wolverines are going to know that because time is not on their side, speaking of Pepperdine's side. So look for them to get into some type of action quickly. I'd be surprised if it wasn't Lauren Jackson taking the shot. But they've got to foul, or sorry, excuse me, they've got to get a quick shot, and then they've got to foul the Wolverines. If you're UVU and Pepperdine gets a basket here, you got to be aware of some type of press or fouling immediately.
Jackson across the stripe. Over to Willis. And a whistle on the drive stops the clock. 23.1 to play. Antoine Hosley picks up the foul. A 1-and-1 for Pepperdine. Caleb Willis has been to the stripe once tonight. He missed his only free throw. He's got 8 points overall. Senior out of Stockbridge, Georgia. He'll have another one.
Yeah, and with this, Jim, be aware, as I just mentioned, that ball goes in. Pepperdine's going to be up playing a man-to-man. If that ball gets inbounded, they're going to foul. They're going to try and strip the ball away. They're going to look to trap. So UVU, take your time, get set, and inbound that ball and be aware of what's going to happen.
Willis misses badly on the second one, and the ball hit out of bounds on the floor before any player could retrieve it. So it'll belong to UVU. 5-point Wolverine lead. Both teams moving their players around exactly where they want them for this inbounds play. Hunsaker fouled. He's run over before he could get anything in the backcourt. The foul will go against Jet Raines. 22.8 seconds left, but we'll walk back down to the other end. And Holton Hunsaker, the coach's son, will be at the free throw line. Hunsaker, a junior from North Salt Lake City, Utah, originally signed with Louisiana Tech out of high school, then served an LDS mission to Fiji. When he came home, decided he wanted to play here at UVU for his dad. Right now, he's got 20 points and a chance to add to that total. 66-60. Second free throw for the junior. Got them both. 4 straight free throws for Holton Hunsaker. UVU with their biggest lead of the game at 7. We're in overtime. Jackson for 3. No. Ball goes out of bounds off of UVU. 14.6 seconds to play. The crowd here is stunned into silence. I don't think they expected the Wolverines to be doing this.
Well, and you look back at the last, the end of regulation and the first several minutes here in overtime, and the Wolverines made the plays when they absolutely had to make them, whether it be free throws, whether it be defensive stops, whether it be long three-point shots. Everybody has contributed here. And that's what I've taken away so far. And it's not the end of the game, but that's been most impressive to me is at critical times when the Wolverines had to have plays, they did, and give them all the credit in the world.
Dick Hunsaker, season high 22 points, just 4 away from tying a career high. But right now it's that 14.6 seconds that the Wolverines need to get off the clock to get out of here with a W. They lead by 7 in overtime. Pepperdine gets it in. Quickly to Jackson, harassed by Ben Aird. Jackson long 2, won't go. Willis with the rebound, 6 seconds. Willis will take a 3, got it off the glass, and a timeout with 3.5 seconds to play. And a 4-point Wolverine lead. It's not over.
Yeah, it's not over. That's good possession there defensively. You get a good challenge there from Antoine Hosley on the long 3-point shot, and he banks it in. Not much more you can do there. 3.5 seconds left. Wolverines just need to make sure that they get this ball inbounds.
You think he meant to bake it?
No, not at all. But it went in, and that's what really counts.
Pepperdine from 3-point range, 3 of 12 in this game. Utah Valley 7 of 27. Wow. Three and a half seconds left here in overtime. UVU just needs to get it in bounds, really. Ben Aird will trigger along the baseline. Into Hosley, and that's going to do it. They're trying to foul him to stop. They can't do it. And surprise, surprise, surprise. Utah Valley wins their 4th game of the season. They're now 2-0 at home, knocking off Pepperdine, who falls to 4-3. Final score in overtime, 67-63. We told you this would be fun. Thanks for being with us. For Matt Peterson, Jim McCullough. Good night from Orem, Utah.